first dog to walk, little Ludi. It's raining. It's gonna be raining probably this whole weekend. I'm making breakfast. I'll show you guys my breakfast and I'll talk to y'all for a little bit about what's going on, what I'm gonna do today. Have to walk Marley also after this, in this rain probably. And I'm making hard-boiled eggs on rice cakes with turkey bacon, maybe some tomato, and I don't have any more yogurt, so that's it. That's my breakfast. I have my greens, and I was not gonna talk to y'all for a little bit before I have to go walk more dogs. Today is Thursday, January 21st, I think, and I'm going to get my thyroid ultrasound at 2:30. And as a type 1 diabetic, it's super scary because I've had uncontrolled blood sugars my entire life since I got diabetes, and it's not like something that can be managed through diet and exercise because I've already tried that route. I've tried switching insulins, I've tried having an insulin pump, I've tried every single possible thing you can think of, except I haven't tried a GLP-1, so I really wanted to just start a GLP-1 because they said it manages your blood sugar a little bit better. So when I brought that up to my doctor, she mentioned that I would need to get my thyroid checked because she said the ultrasound that I had done last year came back and it had like some nodules. And it took her almost 12 months to give me those results. So that already was annoying to me because I'm like, it could be something more serious, and she's not, like, she has no urgency in this matter, of course, because it's not her body. So that already like pissed me off. So I'm trying to get, she's like, well, go get tested again, and then if it comes back like everything's fine, then we can start you on GLP-1s. Then I did my own research on GLP-1. The only reason she doesn't want to start me on that is because it says it causes thyroid cancer, which is not true. It caused inflammation in the thyroid. In rodents, we don't have the same structure in our body as rodents, so it would be safe for me to take unless someone in my family has a previous history of thyroid cancer, which no one does. So if you have type 1 diabetes, you have to advocate for yourself when you go to the doctors. Make sure if you want to try a new medicine that you are able to do so. If not, you have to go get a different endocrinologist because sometimes they're burnt out. Sometimes they think they know better. Their ego gets the best of them. They're not doing research themselves. Like, I've already asked her about the cure to diabetes, like all these research that's going on, like with Eladrin, something like that. It's like a company that is using immunosuppressants and stem cells to recreate to enforce beta cells, and so the immune system doesn't kill them off. And she's like, oh, I don't know anything about that, you're gonna need to go into the University of Miami. And I'm like, it's their job to keep up with the research, to keep up with studies that could help their patients, but sometimes they're like so exhausted and tired of everything themselves, so they're not going to advocate for us. So we have to do it ourselves. So with that being said, I have looked into the research on the immunosuppressant, but I honestly do not see the benefit of getting a pancreas transplant or beta cell transplant or islet cell transplants if I'm gonna have to be on immunosuppressants the rest of my life, because the whole point is to be off medicine, which I'm not gonna be anyway. And immunosuppressants can bring on other problems like cancer or just a weakened immune system in general, so you can catch anything else. So I'm like, what's the point there? So I'm gonna keep trying to advocate for myself and my diabetes medications. I'm gonna keep trying to go for GLP-1. ChatGPT, I know I try to use it as little as possible, but it does help with structuring a draft, which you can bring to your doctor and say exactly what that says, because you have to use the right terminology. You have to know what you're doing and what you're saying. And a lot of doctors are going to be like, oh, this person doesn't know what they're doing. This person, they're not cognitive enough. So yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we know our bodies better than they do, because we spend 24 hours in our bodies. They spent 1 to 2 hours learning about diabetes in their whole medical career. So again, advocate for yourself. Try different things. Try other diets. I've tried every diet. Like, I was vegetarian, I was vegan, I tried so many different things. And sure, sometimes it'll reduce my insulin sensitivity or increase it, but it doesn't manage the blood sugars. I'm still like spiking or dropping. Like, there's no like soft wiggle room in the middle. It's all up and down, up and down. So with that being said, I'm gonna go get my ultrasound of my thyroid today. Hopefully there's nothing major going on. Hopefully it's not any cancer. 90% of the cases, the nodules in your thyroid are benign, so that's a good odd to have. And my blood sugars have been good. Actually, I'm gonna get my period soon, so my sensitivity is super high. I've been using smaller amounts of insulin and eating whole foods, so I have little to no pain. That's my hack. If I eat whole foods before I get my period and a lot of like steak, the pain is reduced immensely. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody. And I'm gonna go do my walks, finish my breakfast, and take my greens. Charlie. Walk number 2. Alright, so I get to the ultrasound place and I start getting super emotional. I'm very nervous. I'm scared. I'm alone. And it was a very hard drive because it took me like 30 minutes or more to get here. But this was before I even got the ultrasound, and to be honest, the people were amazing. The experience was awesome. It was pretty cheap considering I live in Miami and I don't have insurance. So I'll link the place below if you guys want to do any ultrasounds, or they also do like MRI scans or x-rays. But I got a little matcha to celebrate because I was struggling, of course. And overall, the experience was good. It was quick, easy. They gave me a CD to take for my own records on top of faxing it to my doctor. But you do have to have a referral from your original primary care or your endocrinologist to get this done. However, again, I was just freaking out. I get a lot of anxiety, and this was just a real raw moment for me to come to the realization that this might be more serious than I think it is. But then it all changed when I got to the gym, of course, because that's my happy place, and I can put some good music and just really focus on being present in my workout. Today I was hitting glutes and abs, so I just did a little sneak peek. I did a little bit of abductors, and then I hit the ab roller. So I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to subscribe and share. I appreciate all the support from all you guys that are subscribing to me. And this is your sign to really just focus on what you have to do as a type 1 diabetic. Sometimes you're going to have to go through the hard moments and go get tested for things you don't want to even know that you have. But that doesn't mean give up on everything else, because your life keeps going whether you have a diagnosis or not, and you should still be able to focus as well on the positives in your life. And this is me doing that, focusing on the positive, that being able to hit the gym and be in my own world and end up having a better day than what I thought it would be. Thank you again for watching, and ask me any questions in the comments. Everything is linked in the description as well.